Get up. Tíralo.
On Tuesday, 27-year-old Aaron Mitchell was arrested at a traffic stop and booked into the Cochise County Jail on charges that include sexual misconduct with a minor. According to police, on Monday, a 15-year-old girl was approached by Mitchell on her way to school off G Avenue in Douglas. They say Mitchell was in a red car and identified himself as a law enforcement officer while wearing a tactical vest labeled police. According to the girl, Mitchell asked her for documentation, which she provided, then told her he would be taking her to the police department. She says Mitchell restrained her and placed her in his car. Authorities believe Mitchell drove the girl to an apartment in Sierra Vista, sexually assaulted her, then drove her back to Douglas later that day.
A detective with our department got an indictment this morning. He is facing 1 count of kidnapping, 6 counts of sexual assault, 5 counts of sexual conduct with a minor.
Mitchell faces several more charges.
No! Oh, no! What are they doing? No!
Oh my God. That was really cool, guys. You guys are super cool for that. How is she supposed to move? Let's go. That's good. We're starting. Get your boy. No me toques, señora. Adiós. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Oh, my God.
That video was captured at an immigration court in New York City, and it shows the officer pushing the woman to the floor in front of her own children. The incident appears to have started when the woman confronted the officer over her husband's detainment. 2 U.S. officials tell CBS News the officer was placed back on duty after a preliminary review of the incident. CBS News reached out to representatives for ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, and the White House for a comment on this, but have not heard back yet.
Learning new details about an off-duty Customs and Border Protection agent who was arrested after another road rage incident that led to a shooting along the border highway last month. According to court documents obtained by KTSM, 34-year-old Hector Zubia also is facing a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He claims a 19-year-old man started the road rage incident and drove towards him, which is what allegedly led to Zubia firing his weapon 11 times. Documents state Zubia said his intentions were to, quote, get him to stop and to try to take him into custody, end quote. However, El Paso police says Zubia's story was inconsistent with evidence at the scene. Court documents also say that Texas law does not authorize a CBP officer to take police action or have law enforcement authority outside of the port of entry.
Federal government is defending the actions of ICE officers who got into another altercation outside of immigration court in Lower Manhattan. Journalists were pushed and one ended up in the hospital. Allie Bauman spoke to one photographer about this confrontation.
Video shows immigration officers follow 2 women into an elevator Tuesday at the federal court in Lower Manhattan, followed by 2 photojournalists. And then
Get out the elevator.
Agents in ski masks pushed 2 of the journalists, shoving photographer Olga Fedorova to the ground.
The 80-year-old U.S. citizen says he wasn't trying to intervene, simply get answers. That's when armed masked men turned their attention towards him, leaving him badly injured.
You can see my arm. They threw me in the footage, all black.
Rafi's shoe head shows us the injuries he sustained, including a dislocated elbow, after his business was raided by federal immigration officials last week. Surveillance video shows as the 80-year-old car wash owner gets shoved to the ground by a masked agent as he's running down a narrow hallway. Rafi says he didn't know what was going on, and when he came to the defense of one of his employees outside Valley Car Wash in Van Nuys, an unidentified officer pushes him back before throwing him to the ground as backup arrives.
They grabbed one of my guys, and I told him, hold on, most of these people, they have a paper, we have documentation here, and the only thing they said is, you don't F with the eyes, we are here. And they threw me on the floor, and 3 of them, they jumped on me and they were sitting on me.
Rafi says 5 of his employees were detained by ICE that Tuesday morning. He requested medical attention after being roughed up with a heart condition, but instead he was placed in handcuffs and taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown LA.
I was asking them, let me talk to somebody, I need to go home, I need my medicine, I'm hungry. No, there is nothing we can do. You have to wait. You have to wait.
The U.S. citizen was released hours later. That's when his family finally took him to the hospital.
Again, my dad, he's 80 years old, and he has a heart condition, and he begged and pleaded, and told him as soon as that second attack, that second push down, he said, I have a heart condition, I'm an old man, I want the ambulance, and they completely denied him and ignored him.
Rafi's ribs were left busted, both his arms have contusions, and he's struggling to breathe. He and his family are now seeking legal action against the government.
What they are doing is not nice and it's not right.
My colleague Matt and I have been digging into this since Tuesday, and tonight we can tell you that Customs and Border Protection agent arrested outside of a Yard House restaurant in the Long Beach area. I want to show you some video of that restaurant because that is where tonight the DA's office accuses Isaiah Hodgson of being inside a women's restroom when somebody inside that restroom noticed he had a gun in his waistband. The management was called. They asked him to leave. A security guard said, you can't have that. The security guard, according to the DA's office, witnessed him holding the weapon. That's when Long Beach police arrived. Long Beach police say he then got into a physical fight with the responding officers, so much so that he had to be tased in order to be taken into custody. The DA's office accuses the CBP agent, who was off duty, of being under the influence at the time as well. I want to show you a mugshot that I've received from a law enforcement source of Hodgson. Now, we showed this mugshot to a 20-year-old Pico Rivera man. He immediately recognized him as the man involved in his arrest back on June 17th. You'll remember the June 17th arrest happened after a very big scuffle in that Walmart parking lot. We'll show you video of that incident here, and you'll see the man in the hat there holding Adrian Martinez is that agent that is now accused of having that gun while intoxicated inside that Long Beach restaurant. We showed Adrian that mugshot. Adrian confirmed to us that that was the same person who was there at the time of his arrest, who then went with him to the MDC detention center in downtown Los Angeles. His attorney also speaking out tonight. We're getting a statement from them. I want to show it to you. It says in part, quote, the Border Patrol agent was arrested for an off-duty act of felony violence, which is indicative of the violence frequently seen in ICE Border Patrol arrests. The arrest confirms the fears many have right now regarding violent, unaccountable, and unhinged federal agents roaming the streets. We also have a statement we can show you from CBP and DHS. We've been reaching out to them as well. They're saying, quote, this matter is under investigation. Tonight, we did reach out to an attorney for the Customs and Border Protection agent that is now being charged with these crimes. We have not heard back. It is important to note the weapon the DA accuses he had at the time was his Customs and Border Patrol issued service weapon at the time. I am also told by a source he was not carrying any identification to identify himself as a CBP agent when that arrest happened in Long Beach. Records that I reviewed from his arrest in Long Beach also say he refused to provide his occupation to the arresting officers.